Good afternoon and welcome to the World at Noon. I am Olushayo Babatunde. In Nigeria, Osho Governor reaffirms commitment to accelerating economic development of the state. Many killed in northern Burkina Faso vehicle attack. Lufthansa pilots plan 2-day strike over pay, and now the news in full. In Nigeria, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola of the state of Osun has reiterated his commitment towards delivering qualitative road infrastructure and accelerating economic development of the state. The governor gave the assurance during the inspection tour of Osun Ifeanyi Road project as well as Beruwa in Osogbo, the state capital. Governor's office correspondent Soya Onoride files in this report.
Road project, which commenced in May, is on the federal route spanning Osogbo, Okene, Ilobu, Ifon, is being undertaken by the administration of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola at a sum over 3.2 billion naira, aimed at bridging hiccups experienced by residents along the road. Speaking at Ojutu Bridge in Ilobu, Governor Oyetola reiterated his commitment towards delivering qualitative road infrastructure across the state of Osun, facilitating smooth rides for the residents as well as boosting economic development of the state. The road project is expected to be completed by October. Governor Oyetola also paid on the fourth assessment on the progress recorded on the 1.5-kilometer Baruwa Street Road project in Ogoluwa area of Osogbo, the state capital. The governor, who was cheered on by residents during the tour, meticulously inspected drainages and other essential project materials required for the roads that can weather the storms for many years. Also on ground with Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, who are the Deputy Governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyefamiji, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Charles Atnola, as well as members of the State Executive Council. From the Governor's Office, Soya Onoride reporting.
The interim government in Burkina Faso has disclosed that at least 35 civilians were killed and 37 injured in northern Burkina Faso when a vehicle in a convoy hit an improvised explosive device. According to the report, the escorted supply convoy heading to the capital, Ouagadougou, hit the IAD between the northern towns of Djibo and Bozanga, an area where Islamic militants have escalated attacks on villages, police and military outposts since 2015. The military government said in a statement that escorts rapidly secured the perimeter and took measures to assist the victims. In the meantime, insecurity has risen across West Africa's Sahel over the past decade as groups with links to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State have gained ground, killing thousands and displacing over 1 million people despite the presence of foreign troops and UN peacekeepers. President of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahman, has ordered that humanitarian aid be sent to flood-hit Pakistan. According to a report, a total of 500 tons of flour, 500 tons of drinking water, 1,000 tons of coal, 1,000 tons of cement, and 2,000 pieces of slate worth 12.2 million subni will be transported to Pakistan. Information has it that the people of Pakistan are facing serious problems due to heavy rains and floods that have been going on for more than a month. It was gathered that as a result of natural disasters, 1,265 have died in Pakistan. More than 1 million houses, roads, and other infrastructural facilities were completely destroyed in recent time. Meanwhile, reports say the convoy of humanitarian aid will leave from Tajikistan from tomorrow. This is the World at Noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Ile-Awije Okebale Oshogbo, Voice of the West. Now, our mid-news message. It is only when everyone works hard that the nation can record a sustainable growth. Contribute your quota. Pilots at German carrier Lufthansa say they will stage a 2-day strike from tomorrow unless the company makes a serious offer in talks over pay. It will be recalled that it is the second time in a week after pilots staged a walkout last Friday, which led to hundreds of flights being cancelled. The union, in their demands, called for a 5.5% pay rise for its members this year and an inflation-busting 8.2% increase in 2023. They are also seeking a new pay and holiday structure. The airline authorities maintain that those measures will increase its staffing costs by about 40% or around 900 million euros over 2 years. Canadian police have declared wanted the remaining suspect in the stabbing deaths of 10 people in an indigenous community in a nearby town in the province of Saskatchewan. Police Chief Ivan Bray revealed that Damien Sanson was found dead near the crime scenes, noting that authorities believe that his brother Miles Sanderson and fellow suspects were responsible for the killing of Damien. A series of stabbings, according to police, was also responsible for the injuries on 18 people. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Commanding Officer Assistant Commissioner Rhonda Blackmore said authorities are not yet sure of the cause of death, but that the injuries were not self-inflicted. Leaders of James Smith's Cree Nation, where most of the stabbing attacks took place, blamed the killings on the drug and alcohol abuse plaguing the community, which they said was a legacy of the colonization of indigenous people. And here again are the highlights of the World at Noon. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola of the state of southwest Nigeria has embarked on the inspection tour of some ongoing road projects as part of efforts to ensure quality service delivery and timely completion. The interim government in Burkina Faso has disclosed that at least 35 civilians were killed and 37 injured in northern Burkina Faso when a vehicle in a convoy hit an improvised explosive device. And pilots at German carrier Lufthansa say they will stage a 2-day strike from tomorrow unless the company makes a serious offer in talks over pay. And that was the World at Noon, edited by Nathaniel Oyegoki and delivered by Ulushayo Babatunde. Next out today, entitled Nigeria Voice to Be Great Again by Adeyemi Adeleke of our news desk, implores Nigerians to imbibe attitudinal change that will make the country to be able to compete favorably among its best in the Committee of Nations.
American great philosopher come politician Abraham Lincoln said, "No one can help the people by doing for them more than they could do for themselves." Just as an English adage says, "Heaven helps only those who help themselves," as no nation can do for Nigeria than what the country can do for itself. That memory lane the international forces that went to Kenya and Zimbabwe when they were experiencing turmoil could not perform more than what the countries offered them. Nelson Mandela's long walk to freedom was laced with courage, but it ended apartheid in South Africa. Late General J.J. Rawlings initiated the change procedures that turned Ghana to a stable economy. Central African Republic was liberated from oppressive leaders by the youth who initiated the change. The Libyan people rebelled against the government of Muammar Gaddafi to topple the government. Any leader who makes sacrifice to free his nation from doom will have his memories remain indelible. The international forces who came to curb the menace of Boko Haram insurgent in 2013 operated a third mission simply because they could not do for Nigeria more than the assistance the Nigerians offered them. For a nation to grow, internal positive change must be initiated by domestic leaders or enabled through a process of struggle by the people. In 1960, Nigeria was far ahead of Egypt, Thailand, and Singapore. In 1964, Nigeria and South Korea were operating on the same page of economic development. In 1970, Nigeria was able to compete with Indonesia, while it was learnt that Malaysia bought the idea of palm plantation from Nigeria in the mid-60s. But it is sad today that those countries have left Nigeria behind in economic development. Nigeria is only the only country producing crude oil in the world, but it's unfortunate that Nigeria suffers cumulative neglect and degradation that makes it seasonally wallow in abject poverty. Other countries made money from oil revenue used to grow with their economies, provide infrastructures, and create massive employment. But some people take advantage of damaged refineries since Kokori Ogoni revolutions joined Abacha military junta and turned the nation to their port of coffee through subsidy on fuel importations. Political office holders are comfortable with jumbo pay at the detriment of masses. It is quite disheartening that some people take joy in deviant attitudes like contract inflation, unexecuted projects, looted treasures, money misappropriated, Yahoo and Yahoo Plus, budget paddling and embezzlement, drugs and human trafficking, substandard goods, and so on. Other aspects like economy, health, education, agriculture, power and security policies harbor masquerade saboteurs. Elections are manipulated. Judiciary is not fair. Press are not reliable for not being objective. Consequent upon this, Nigeria began to face systematic problems, and its economic growth remains stunted. The national anthems and pledge that are supposed to serve as watchword have become just mere songs and not watchword again. NUSOP believes that it is high time Nigerians imbibe attitudinal change by committing themselves to the struggle and make necessary adjustments to lift the nation from the junks. We posit that the token of discrimination, ethnicities, favoritism, nepotism, and selflessness should be buried entirely, as justice cannot prevail in an environment where two equals are being treated unequal. Nigeria will be great again when Nigerians chose to make it by themselves and stop relying totally on international magic hands, as no one can do for Nigeria than what Nigerians do for themselves.
That news talk by the Adeleke for editorial desk suggests that initiatives for better change among individuals in Nigeria to enable the country to be great again among the Committee of Nations. It is read by Olushola Egbodofo. For more about us, you can visit osbcng.org. Thanks for listening to The World at Home. Good afternoon.
The change procedures